Alright. Hello everyone, it's me, Xeno. Yes, it's me, don't worry, I'm just in the cosplay. Yes, and what am I cosplaying, you may ask? Well, this is supposed to be a Banu Haqim cosplay. Why? Because today's topic is exactly that. Banu Haqim Death Diaries from the Chinese room, Bloodlines 2 related, of course. And do I look like a Banu Haqim? Well, I have scarf and I can do this, so it was hard to actually make something interesting for Banu Haqim. At least for me, I have very limited wardrobe, believe it or not. So yeah, I actually kind of look more like Jasper from LA by Night, so that says something about me. But yeah, let's say I'm a Banu Haqim. Of course, I'm still a glorious Tremere underneath this hoodie. But yeah, today I will be reading Banu Haqim stuff, as you can see in the background. And yeah, it's very hot today, so I have a cup of blood with me to moisturize my undead throat. But yeah, we'll be reading about Bloodlines 2 stuff, developing Banu Haqim, and clan highlight Banu Haqim, as we did with Bruja and Tremere before. And of course, like next, yeah, no, this month we just started, so yeah, somewhere around like the end of this month, we'll be reading Ventrue stuff if it will come out until this time. But let's concentrate about Banu Haqim, the undead assassins. Let me just fix this. All right, the undead assassins. Let's read. Death Diary 11. Developing Banu Haqim. Let's now leap into Banu Haqim, another captivating vampire clan that the players will encounter in Bloodlines 2. That actually was a big surprise, you know, because Banu weren't, back then they were Assamites, those times, weren't in the original roster in first Bloodlines. So it was a pleasant surprise, I must say. Better than Toreadors, in my opinion. More interesting, at least, in a way. Not that Toreadors are bad or anything, but, you know. Alright. The essence of the Banu Haqim is defined by their mastery of stealth, precision, and a moral code that guides their hidden hand of justice. Like Batman. Our team had a lot of fun in reflecting these properties in their subsequent department. Good stuff for the beginning. Yeah, now we will read something about the tabletop. So how they were developed for the Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. I think they were added in the Camarilla book. Yes, yeah, they were added in the Camarilla book. Okay, designing modern Banu Haqim for tabletop. The Banu Haqim, Assamites at the time, were one of the first clans to be added to the original assembly in 1991. That's true. As such, they were less connected to vampire archetype out of fiction and instead modeled on the Hashashins, the Order of Assassins, out of Alamut. Of course, Hashashins were the people from history, the Order of Assassins, yes. In the medieval times, somewhere around this time, I think. But yeah, they were actually like assassins from the Assassin's Creed, so Assassin's Creed was based on them, so that's also cool. Out of Alamut. In time, they were expanded upon in the setting and incorporated new elements of mysticism and religion, but the core stereotype, the Arab assassin cultists as vampire, regrettably remained. Regrettably, I don't know. Needless to say, they needed some work to align with the design principles of Vampire the Masquerade's latest edition. So yeah, more inclusive, because in the later editions, I think even in the like revised or the 20th anniversary edition, Assamites started to embrace not only people of Arabic blood, so to say. So like Europeans, Americans, whoever they deemed worthy of the blood, they're embraced. So that is cool. Especially this can be seen in the 5th edition, where literally everyone can be a Banu Haqim. Then Assamites, of course, now Banu Haqim. Banu Haqim, literally, for those who don't know, means children of Hakim. Hakim being the antediluvian of the clan. But we will get to that maybe later, or maybe I will do a separate video on their lore, because it's crazy. The concept of a hunter of hunters, driven by strong principles or a deep-seated sense of justice, like Batman, does resonate with powerful elements of vampire and vampire-adjacent media. Blade, yep. Angel, yep. And for those of you who remember, Forever Night all feature vampires seeking redemption by taking the fight to their own. While the very vampire-esque Dexter is a poster child for the concept as in the Caped Crusader. Yeah. Blade is not a vampire, he's a vampire, so still vampire in origin, but not quite. Yeah. It is not fluke that the internal shorthand for the Banu Haqim was Clan Batman. Like I said, yeah, Batman would be a great Banu Haqim. That's what they all are about. Justice, but they don't, have this no killing rule. They serve justice as it should be served, with steel and blood, and not crippling medical bills, like Batman. Let's continue. Thus, while their origins are still the same, the shift in focus has provided the Banu Haqim with a role more easily applied to characters of any background or conviction, like I said before. Cursed with a hereditary thirst for vampire blood, depends, the so-called warriors shackle their impulses, strict codes of conduct derived from mortal religions, vampiric tenets, or personal creeds. Assassin's Creed, Vampire's Creed. I will trademark that soon. Vampire's Creed, that will be good. So basically, Vampire the Masquerade Justice, that's Vampire's Creed, kinda. Good game. I haven't played it though, I don't have any VR equipment. But I've seen the gameplay, and it looks very interesting. These traits, along with their feared reputation, makes them sought after as soldiers, lawbringers, and occasionally assassins in the societies of the night. So, Camarilla, Anarchs, even Sabbat, or even Tal Mahara, if we count earlier editions societies. Yet the siren song of Kindred Vitae perpetually tempts them, and more than one judge has been tasked with the destruction of one of their own. To be embraced into the Banu Haqim clan means walking an eternal tightrope with no end and with nothing to catch you when you fail. So yeah, Batman. Actually, like the vampire Batman, it was in what was this comic's name? Blood Rain, Crimson Mist, and Blood Rain. Yes, Batman versus Dracula. Cool stuff. One of my favorites. But let's stop for a second here. Cursed with the hereditary thirst for vampire blood. So this won't be related to the game, I think, but some lore from the tabletop. Across editions, actually I posted that on Twitter in Fun Facts with Xeno about Vampire the Masquerade. Banu Haqim, or Assamites, like I stated before, had actually multiple banes, curses between editions. Like, yeah, first for vampire blood, allergy to vampire blood, so the opposite, that they couldn't drink vampire blood. So the diablerie was impossible for them. The curse of getting darker with age, like literally, you become darker, your skin becomes like pitch black, like a night sky when you get old. Like, let's say 500-year-old Assamite would look like a, I don't know, like a night sky, so to say. Yeah, and the other curse, what was it? I think that there was one more, but I can't recall what it was right now. So, yeah, but they had multiple curses, and of course the cast system from the previous editions. The casts also had separate curses. The warriors, visors, and sorcerers had separate curses. And this designing Modern Banu Haqim for tabletop was written by Karim Muammar. I hope I still pronounce it correctly. A designer of Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition and brand editor for the World of Darkness. So yeah. And now we have this fine gentleman right here, whose name is Nico Angelov. So he's Russian, I think, perhaps. I judged that because of his surname, but we'll see. Let's read about Mr. Angelov. Yeah, I read it correctly. This vase belonged to a man who promised to visit his mother in hospital but did not. So I ripped out of his spleen. Some people really do not know how to behave. Seems fair. Seems fair if you ask me. Seems fair. So yeah, Nico will be like a Primogen, Banu Haqim Primogen, for the Camarilla in the game. Let's read about him. Nico is wholly committed to living an honest life, to the point of barely being able to keep a single thought to himself. I can respect that. He's brutally honest, sometimes perhaps even literally brutally honest. You can find him at Aurora Pawn, so he runs a pawn shop, surrounded by the trinkets of hapless of mortals. He pleases the court by sourcing rare artifacts and by taking on special tasks for the prince. Equally, he infuriates the court by refusing to divide from using strictly honorable means in all his transactions. Once again, I can respect that. He's honorable, trustworthy, and honest. Alright. You might find that transparency helpful as you unravel the mysteries of the city, but be warned, he won't keep a secret, not even yours, so choose your words with care. Okay, maybe too honest. That's not even honesty, that's like, I don't know what this is. He just can't keep his mouth shut. That's not honesty, that's a problem, my friend. You should see a therapist for that. Writing the Banu Haqim. One of the most interesting facets of the Banu Haqim is their blue-orange morality. Interesting choice of colors. It's a clan that often appeals to seasonable players of the tabletop game because it allows them to challenge themselves with the self-imposed restrictions of their character's unique moral code. This is something we wanted to reflect with Nico. His obsession with absolute truth renders him incapable of being complicit in the backstabbing nature of kindred politics, so he must find other ways to make himself useful. His sincerity also makes him vulnerable to the manipulation of the Camarilla, which the player can choose to protect him from, or you could manipulate him yourself, if that's the kind of game you're playing. Written by Cherish Goldstraw, writer. Interesting stuff. And yeah, not being able to keep a secret, that's not honest, that's a problem. Yeah, like, you're not trustworthy, man. You're not. How do you gain anyone trust? Alright, you're useful, but that's it. So what else do we have here? Combat discipline design. Let's see. Banu Haqim alongside Tremere is our second clan that leans more into stock within combat, while we've tailored Tremere for a slower, more tactical style of play. The Banu Haqim's clan use of obfuscate, and celerity make them much better suited to a faster, more confident approach. So, unlike the glorious Banu Haqim, glorious Tremere, who will be more stealthy, logical, tactical in approach, the Banu will just look there, alright, kill that, zoom, dead. We'll see. The Banu Haqim abilities primarily focus on those two disciplines. The player can silence themselves and others, move impossibly fast, and vanish from sight completely. This can be used at any pace, but they truly shine when used swiftly together, dancing in and out of sight and dispatching opponents quicker than they can react, like Batman. This makes them ideal for players who like to stay hidden, toy with their victims' senses, and when needed, kill everyone in the room faster than a Tremere could decide their first move. Let's say I believe you, because I can just blow everyone up if I want to. But yeah, while we use quite a bit of slow-mo effects across combat, Banu's version of celerity is its biggest use cause. We needed a small subsystem specifically to manage time dilation across gameplay, to allow for its use in combination with other abilities. This has really paid off. I generally never get tired of using Banu Haqim's little beheading strike in almost stop time. Max Bottomley, senior game designer. So yeah, about these disciplines we will learn more about them in the highlight, to which we will jump in a minute. Good blood. Blood is good. Blood is life. What do Banu Haqim sound like? You can hear them. But, let's read it. In our audio design for the Banu Haqim clan, I leaned into harnessing the sounds of whispers and wind, signifying the clan's predilection for stealth and silent execution. Our department here introduced a use of real-time audio processing techniques that bring the player's manipulations of time and silence to life. As you use split second, so a celerity ability, to slow time, you will hear the pings of bullet shells dropping to the floor and strange voices slowed down to really sell the idea of good old bullet time, like in Max Payne. We intended to craft a fully immersive experience that comes with moving faster than sound, making every moment a deliberate and calculated dance between predator and prey. Marcus Macshaw, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. Sound designer. So yeah. Can Banu Haqim move faster than sound? Can any vampire do? Yes, technically, but it might hurt. At least in the tabletop earlier editions, so... sounds fun. What do Banu Haqim look like? Like this. Yeah. Like this. When putting together the aesthetic identity for the Banu Haqim clan in the game, as always with us at the Chinese room, we started with a rich palette of inspirations and tones of brainstorm. A tone of good stuff ended up on our mood board. Functional aspects of techwear, health gov, utility-based items with a high-end edge, the blend in quality of corporate attire, and the vibrant, enduring spirit of modern Persian fashion. These choices reflect a mixture of tradition and modernity, embodying the clan's adaptability and their profound connection to both their heritage and the demands of the modern world. Sounds interesting. Banu Haqim's garments in our game then are as much about form as they are about function, concealment, elusiveness. The ability to quickly disappear into the urban landscape or emerge as a silent avenger is a key to the Banu Haqim's visual identity, mirroring their role as the unseen arbiters of justice in the shadow world, their righteousness and role as silent guardians of the vampire society. Very elaborate, proud and honorable description, which isn't always true. But about fashion, yeah, the Banu often dress themselves really practically. Their attire is very practical, like we can see here. An ankh, some ring, a very cool ring. I have a similar one, but it's from plastic, sadly. And these bracelet, they really remind me of the Assassin's Creed. Alright, I mean, look at them. Reminds me of Altair for some reason. Alright, drawing inspiration from iconic figures and settings such as John Wick, Lisbeth Sandler from The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and the Freeman from Dune. We sought to imbue the Banu Haqim with a sense of concealed danger and an air of mystery. These influences helped shape a look that is both understated and unmistakably potent, emphasizing the clan's themes of elusiveness and intent. Our designs focus on clothing that allows for quick concealment or blending into the background, highlighting the Banu Haqim's proficiency in moving unseen and striking from the shadows. Yeah, so we have here few concept arts, and this was written by Ben Matthews, Associate Art Director. Good stuff, Mr. Matthews. So yeah, what do we have here? Yeah, they do look assassin-y in nature. I especially like the second one from the left. It looks more like a Nosferatu actually, but still like a modern assassin. It really allows you to blend in in the crowd, like similar actually to what I'm wearing in a way, like, you know, black hoodie. I have a scarf. I don't have a hat because if you can see, they have a hat. Fire has a hat here, and I don't have a hat. I have hair under my hood. So yeah, that was developing Tremere for Bloodlines 2. Rewind that, developing Banu Haqim. I just love Tremere so much that I can't stop thinking about them because we are the best. And yeah, Mr. Angelov. But now let's jump into Banu Haqim clan highlight. The stuff we all been waiting for. Let's go. Yeah, it was released today. I came back from work, and to my enjoyment, I was able to relax and read. So I will now read it to you guys. Clan highlights Banu Haqim. The clan of the Hunt, assassins, children of Hakim, Saracens, mediators, lawmen. Cursed with a thirst for the blood of other vampires, the Banu Haqim stalk the night as judges and lawbringers. To this end, most Banu Haqim adhere to a strict code of conduct, derived from law, faith, or personal ethics, sating their hunger on those that breach those convictions. So basically summarized what we read before. Playing a Banu Haqim in Bloodlines 2, and here we have Lou Grant. What's she saying? And so, like a Banu Haqim to arrive so aromantically fresh from slaughter. Nothing's off the menu, I hear. And she's right. She's correct. But yeah, playing a Banu Haqim in Bloodlines 2. Banu Haqim takes the role of a strategic stalker, using shadows to their advantage. You are a predator on a hunt, and your discipline powers focus on stalking, assassination, and silently moving faster than your foes can track. These skills are great assets when stalking the city for prey. Sounds about right. So abilities, like before, here abilities listed. So for Tremere there were mainly like blood sorcery stuff, for Bruja some potence, so celerity, different celerity than we will see now, but let's read. When you choose your clan, you will start out with a passive ability unique to each clan. You are then able to unlock abilities from the ability tree, starting with your chosen clan. Each ability requires spending ability points, AP, so experience, to unlock, which are earned from completing missions, combat, and exploration. At the peak of the ability tree, you can unlock the clan perk, a reward to those dedicated enough to unlock all of the abilities from a clan, giving a permanent passive upgrade. Cool. So that's basically the same thing in the other highlights, so abilities. But now the cool stuff. Silence of Death, passive, clan passive. In the tabletop is the level 1 obfuscate power. All your actions become entirely silent for a period after it feeding. In the tabletop you just like turn on silentness, that's the word, right? You turn on silentness and you move silently. No sound. You produce no sound. And here, this is a clan passive. Good stuff. Mute. Silent any enemy / civilian. Any sound they produce, from screams to gunfire, are completely undetectable to others. Okay, so like a silence of death, but you can make someone mute. Well, that's the name. Split second, so that's a celerity power in tabletop, so just like here. Move so fast that time appears to stop around you. So bullet time basically. Bladed Hand, that's a blood sorcery ritual. So kinda we have blood sorcery here in a very strange way, because it's not like a ritual, you don't do magic. Here you just have stronger hands. But it is in the tabletop as blood sorcery, so yeah, Banu have blood sorcery confirmed. Kinda. Slash swiftly in front of you, beheading mortal opponents. So you have just sharp arms. Palms. I mean. On unseen aura. Become temporarily invisible to enemies and civilians. Note you can still be heard unless combined with Silence of Death. So we can combine those two. That's cool. Prowl. Clan perk. That's not something from the tabletop, I think. Can remain crouched while sprinting. So like you crawling, blah, blah, blah. Like some sort of golem. And here we have some screenshots. So that's mute, I think. Bladed hands. The unseen aura. And once again bladed hands. But this can actually be the split second when you move just super fast. And this actually looks more like, you know, you use a blade to cut someone's head off. Poor guy, right here. Customizing your playstyle, that's basically the same thing as in the other highlights, just talking about Banu Haqim. But I see an interesting part here. So to summarize it for you, we'll be able to unlock other disciplines from other clans, and those disciplines that your clan that you choose already possesses, like in the tabletop, theoretically, like Tremere have Dominate, they will be able to learn it from Ventru. Bruja also can learn it from Ventru, but they don't have it in them. So it will cost Bruja more AP, the experience to learn this, and Tremere less. Just like here, if a Banu Haqim wishes to unlock blood sorcery ability from another clan, so Tremere, it would cost less AP to unlock an ability from a discipline Banu Haqim don't have. So Banu Haqim won't have any, like a version of blood sorcery themselves, except, you know, these bladed hands in a way. But yeah, if you want to learn blood sorcery, you need to ask Tremere for permission and help, because why not? And you can unlock them at your usual experience cost, as you would your celerity, Silence of Death, split second, and whatnot. But potence will cost you more because you don't have it. Still can learn it, but it will cost you more. So that's basically it. That's the highlight. I won't be reading the whole thing because it's the same thing. I read it twice in the previous videos. So yeah, these were developing Banu Haqim and clan highlight. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what do you think about the reveals about our favorite assassins. Yeah, Vampire Creed, good stuff. Maybe I will play them on my second playthrough, I don't know. Of course the first one will be Tremere. We will see. So that's all for now. I will see you in the next video, and then we'll probably talking about some blue bloods, if you know what I mean. So, goodbye.